Fun.
Had a little fun. Had a little fun. We're back.
Oh yeah, we
Sheriff
back.
Pruitt.
Oh yeah, we got welcome Chief Frazier. in the
got
building.
Yes, welcome, Chief Frazier.
Can we give him a round of applause?
Please do.
Let's give him another round of applause, y'all. He's in the building.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Always. Great man.
Great man. The revealer.
Yeah, we got
yes.
a good topic today too.
Yes,
It's very important. You know, we've missed a few weeks and some stuff has gone down. You know.
Yes.
And I know the folks have seen it in the news, and the overall picture. You know, when you look at this is something that's been going on for a very long time with our young ladies being kidnapped and going missing and stuff. And now there's a lot of attention being paid to it.
You got him?
You know, it's a lot of attention being paid to that.
Okay.
You know, and the latest one, though, the one that we're following is Anaya Blanchard.
Yes, definitely Anaya Blanchard.
She's been missing since October 23rd.
Right.
So there have been some developments in the case since then. You know, they've arrested a suspect, and they're testing blood and doing all these different things. But it takes us to a bigger question of what is happening. Why is this happening? So this is where the sheriff had a few things on his list that he was going to go over with us. We're going to go discuss this stuff.
Well, you know, like you said, this has been happening for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just here; it's all over the world.
Right.
That's
right.
You know, and some of the things that I know is going on is sex trafficking. You know, sex trafficking, organ harvesting, and then you just got some bad people that do bad things to people.
Right.
And it's not just women that are missing. We got men missing.
Right.
We got kids missing. We
Right.
got babies missing. We got adults missing.
Right.
Everybody. There's nobody safe from these bad people. And if you sex trafficking, you are a bad person.
Right.
If you are organ harvesting, you are a bad person. And we have to definitely watch out and look out for each other.
Right.
Now, Anaya Blanchard, you know, she's gained a lot of media coverage here locally in Auburn. You know, Camille Cupcake McKinney, you know, all these are a shame. Alexis Crawford in Atlanta and Clark, Atlanta.
Right.
You know, Chai Kai Lai in Auburn recently. And there are many others, but those are the ones that stuck out here. Definitely, if I didn't call anybody's name, I'm not trying to miss anybody, but those are the four that I had written down.
Right.
But you know, we realize we're just scratching the surface on this. And this is the thing. This is the thing that we're talking about tonight. In specific, is we're talking about sisters, people of color going missing like this.
Right.
And why is that? That's a phenomenon, and the instigator will get into that a little later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The thing about this is that you look at what's happening in a case like this.
Yes, right.
You have a man that is arrested. Now, that sounds like a sex trafficking case to me. You have a person from another country coming in here. He's already had a record. I mean, this is a bad situation, but it happens all the time. And now that the spotlight is being put on this, we're telling people not to let their young women and children and sisters go out by themselves, and to always monitor where they are. Now, I think local law enforcement here has been putting out a thing about not letting people get on elevators, the women get on the elevators by themselves,
Right.
and going into different situations where they might not be in camera shot.
Right.
You know, so we got to be really careful and protect the women. And I mean, this goes for little kids all the way down to Cupcake, all the way up to seniors. We got them all missing, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it
and
is.
that's where you come into the organ trafficking and the sex trafficking. Both of those things are very important, and that's why they're taking the sisters, the young copper-colored women like that.
Well, I'll say there's just so much that you can't do that you used to do.
Right.
That's right.
You know, people love to help people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, humanity, helping people. You know, that's what it all is about. You know, that makes me feel good. I know that make you feel good, and you would hope that if your loved ones were in trouble, that somebody would stop to help them. But you look at the cases now where people stop to help somebody on the road,
That's
and
right.
they get killed,
You
they get
can't do it.
kidnapped, they get
Right.
they get robbed or whatever. You can't stop to help people anymore like you
right.
used to.
Yep.
That's right.
And some of these people do need help.
That's right.
But you just can't do it
Can't
these
do it.
days.
That's right.
I was reading the book the other day. I was reading something and watching the news, and I saw where they had people laying in the road, acting like they'd had a wreck. And they were saying that they had people waiting for you to stop to help them, and then they come out and do these bad things to you. You cannot do that anymore.
That's right.
You know, you can't open your door to let people use the phone.
Right.
That's right.
You can't let your kids go to birthday parties by themselves anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do different things. I remember we talked about it on the show last year right here on 199. A young black man stopped on 199 to help a young lady who had broken down or pretended to break down.
Right.
And as soon as he stopped to help her, two guys came out of the woodwork, robbed him, stole his car, and took off.
Right.
And the young lady was part of it. She just set him up.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and this young man thinking he helping a young lady all by herself.
That's right.
And she was setting him up for robbery.
Right.
And she did that, and he's lucky to get out of that alive.
That's right.
Because they very well could have killed him.
That's right.
Now, you know, these cases are really getting more and more prevalent. I'm going to remind you of one we talked about on the air about a year and a half ago when you and Courtney were down there in Florida.
Yeah.
You remember that case with the RV?
Yeah.
You went down there?
I remember
Now,
that.
look, they had the wrong one that time, buddy.
The wrong
They
time.
had the wrong one.
Yes, and people don't know I'd gone home to my father's funeral.
Yeah.
Right.
And on the way back, somebody tried to rob me. They tried to set me up. And definitely they had the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And just thinking about, you know, me being conscious of what might happen.
That's right.
I told my wife, I said, these guys finna try to rob us.
Right.
That's right.
And sure enough, here they come.
And Courtney was rolling shotgun.
Yeah. She had her piece
That's
and I had
right.
my
That's
piece.
right. There you go.
And we turned them away very, very quickly.
Right.
But, you know, the point is that anybody could be a victim.
Anybody.
Even our
Anybody.
local law enforcement,
Anybody
could be a victim.
That's right.
So we've got to be very careful and watch out for each other.
Yeah, you got to
know,
watch out
got
for each
to.
other.
Got to.
And definitely, you know, everybody, you know, these days, you got to be able to defend yourself.
You do. You really do.
And that's one of the reasons that we offered classes, gun classes. We offer gun safety, and we're getting ready to do another at the Macon County Sheriff Department and with Chief Frazier. And we also are doing a academy, a Citizens Academy. But the main thing right now, and myself and Chief talked about it today, is doing some education in the churches, at the schools, everywhere, for people to let them know what to watch out for with these kidnappings, these organ harvesters, and all of those stuff. We need to tell our community and show them what to look out for. And just recently here in Macon County, out on Howard Road, we had a guy in a truck, you know, trying to pick up young kids and trying to lure him to his vehicle, which finally did catch him. And as I understand, he got put in jail somewhere else for the same thing.
Right.
And now, you know, we had this scare yesterday down at Popeyes.
Okay.
Which we got to talk about. I'm going to let Chief start talking about that. But whatever happens, we got to be aware.
Got to be aware.
And you have to be aware of your surroundings. And we say that, you know, our kids always say, oh, you don't want me to go nowhere. You know, you trying to keep me. Yes, we're trying to protect our children.
That's right.
We're trying to protect our community. We're trying to protect our people.
Right.
And you just can't go to parties. You just can't run around by yourself these days.
That's right.
Especially you young girls, but it don't stop at the young girls. They
Times
are taking
have
guys
changed.
too.
Yep.
Times have
They
changed.
are taking guys too. And this world is so crazy. You know, this world is so crazy that nobody's safe.
Nobody.
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
And you can't take anything for granted.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know, I said the three things: the sex trafficking. We know what sex trafficking is. People take you and they sell you as sex slaves anywhere.
That's
you know,
right.
they sell you. They don't care.
That's right.
And there's a market
For that.
That's right. There's a big market for that, and people make a lot of money.
That's right.
It's an
And
international market,
Yes.
too. Yeah.
And I just saw earlier in this week that they arrested 100 and some people in Atlanta
This
for
stuff
sex
is,
trafficking.
this stuff is real.
It's
It
real.
is.
It's real.
It is.
It's really real.
It's real.
Yep.
And we have organ harvesting.
Right.
And for people that don't know what organ harvesting is, you know, they take, especially the young black people, but it don't stop with young black people, but they take they kill you and they get your organs. And they sell your organs. You know, we have strong organs.
That's right.
Now hold on. Let's not belittle the fact that they are looking for people with melanin.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Well,
those organs. And hey, the instigators talking here about this. Okay.
We're not
they
responsible.
want melanin. Okay. These are the strongest organs.
Yes.
These are the most residual organs. This is where you find people like Henrietta Lacks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, they're looking for the next one. Now we know firsthand what happened here in Tuskegee.
That's right.
So we know that they're capable of doing this.
Yes, yes.
Now they've broadened this whole network of doing this, and it's a global thing. It's happening everywhere. But they want melanin.
Right.
And who has the quality melanin? The sisters.
Yeah.
The givers of birth. They're the ones that they're looking for. Right now, they want as much melanin as possible. This is why you haven't heard a whole lot about it until very recently. It's a messed up phenomenon.
Right.
It's a messed up phenomenon. But we've got to be conscious of it. That's right. Yeah.
And you're definitely right on that. That's why I said we.
Okay, now watch out.
Watch out now. That's right. All right.
So we got
What
Chief
you got, Chief? We gotta let Chief chime in on what we're talking about.
Let's go, Chief.
Well, we need to start with ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And we need to look in the mirror and examine what do we have to offer to this society in order to put a stop to the craziness that's happening.
Okay.
And one of the ways that we can do that is to make ourselves committed to stopping, looking, listening, and learning.
Okay.
Now, just to be ignorant enough to speed past everything today and assume that you got it with everything that has been described over here is stupid. Is being stuck dead on stupid.
Yeah.
So now, what do? Do we stop being nice to people? Do we stop speaking to people? Do we stop smiling at people? No. You can't do that. Because if you do that, you make yourself into a different kind of negative person. But then you have to choose who you're going to be nice to, who you're going to talk to, who you're going to smile at, who you're going to wink at, who you're going to hit on to try to take home with you. Because if you don't put some time and energy into it and really learn from everybody around you, and see, too many young people are ignoring older people.
Right.
You better start, if you're a young person, you better start talking to your grandma and your grandpa.
Absolutely.
And if you got somebody older, talk to them. Then if you got aunties and uncles who's been out here for 40, 50, 60, 70 years, you got to run some of these things past them. Like, what if somebody say this to me? What if this person does this to me? And these people, even though you think that we are old fogies and out of tune with reality, can offer some examples and some suggestions as to how you can identify evil before evil get into your pocket.
Right.
And a robber, before he con you into getting into your car and you taking him home with you. I don't care what your hormones say. If you out by yourself and you pick up a guy and take him to your apartment, you're setting yourself up for a possible killing or a rape or any other kind of intimidation. If you are a guy and if you haven't been around and you ignore all of the adult advice, and then you go out here and you decide, because of your hormones, that every woman out here you're the God's gift to, and you can pick up any girl in the street and take her in your car and take her someplace. That girl can text somebody to meet her there, and you can become a historical incident. So now what we need to do, we need to take some serious looks at ourselves. And we need to do some what ifs. We need to do some talking. I don't care who you are. You don't know everything. There are people around you who can assist you with more intelligence than you have.
Right.
Now, just the situation that happened here in this community with that alleged van apparently attempting to do a kidnapping. Now, all law enforcement has come together. They have put together all of their facts, and they have determined that that was not an attempt kidnapping that happened near the campus or down at exit 38.
Okay.
That was a broken down van. There was a guy who decided he wanted to talk to some girls. These girls understood that he had a bed in the back of his van. That excited their curiosity. Now they are scared, and they start calling the police and their mamas and other people. The mama called the police also. The police went to investigate. The girl says to her mama apparently that the police didn't do anything about it. They let him go. Well, you can't go around arresting people just for being flirty with somebody. And what the sheriff found out through one of his deputies was that van was broken down. The guy was from out of town. He needed assistance. The tow truck people assisted him with getting his van restored once they got parts in for it, and also put him up for the night. Now, his mother is now hyper enough to say, I'm going to transfer my student out of that university. I got a text from Georgia, Macon, Georgia, from a police officer who has a daughter at TU, and he wanted to know what was happening. Well, then I was able to tell him, after talking to the sheriff and the police, cool out, no problem. Just tell your daughter to continue being careful. So you see, if we don't get ourselves together, learn how to deal with ourselves first, collect information from our children. They're going to be hyper. They're going to be scared in a lot of situations. They're going to exaggerate stuff. And parents ought to be experienced enough to do an evaluation and assessment of things, contact law enforcement in that area, pull the adult's mind together, and make a good choice about what's going on. That way, we don't have a negative image for the police. We don't have a negative image for the sheriff. We don't have a negative image for the university. And we don't have these conditions within ourselves that sooner or later will give us a heart attack or a nervous condition.
Right.
So all of that I have just preached is this. Take a look at yourself. Get to know who you are. Do a lot of what ifs. This happened or that happened, and what I'm going to do about it. Talk to people around you about your concerns and your fears and your bold, audacious attitudes and everything. Because a lot of things you think you can handle, you can't handle. And a lot of other things you think that you cannot handle, you can handle.
Right.
If you just get in touch with yourself.
Right.
So that's my sermon for tonight about how we got to get ourselves together, taking account everything that Pat just talked about, everything the sheriff just talked about, and know that this society is just stuck on going crazy. And as we look at the national government now, they are leading the way. If we look at television, they are teaching emotion in everything. You got to be hollering and screaming and yelling at everybody.
Right.
And we don't have to do that. We can talk to grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, find out from whence they came, how we got to be old folk. Okay, and we didn't get to be old folk by being fools.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
I'm 81 now. You don't get to be 81 by being stuck on stupid all the time.
That's right.
You can make some errors, and you can make some just foolish mistakes.
Absolutely.
But now, this is the final word. I don't care what we do at what else. I don't care what we do with intelligence gathering. We've got to understand there's a God above us with all power.
Right.
And as long as you do the very best you can do with all the information you can gather, then that God above can save you from yourself and everything else around you.
All right. Great speech. Great speech.
Hey, that is a great speech. But I also want to add something to that. And we talked extensively about this today.
Yeah.
And one great thing, we don't know what the young lady felt. She could have been afraid.
Right.
Which is great. That is good. That's a defense mechanism that could have saved her life.
Absolutely.
And we're going to tell everybody, if you feel that way, definitely act on your feelings.
That's right.
Because that is the defense mechanism that we all have. So I can't say that she just told a story or whatever, because we don't know what she felt.
That's right.
And she definitely may have been afraid. So that's a great thing. Don't think that we're going to get on you. Don't think, because we don't mind if you call us out. If you see something that you feel is not right, definitely call us.
That's right.
We're not going to be mad. You could be saving somebody's life. So we don't know what went on. We don't know what happened. We don't know what she felt. And I don't want her to feel that we getting on her, because we not.
That's right.
We're definitely not getting on her. She felt something enough to call and do what she did, so she could have saved somebody's life.
That's right.
And we don't know. But the story that we got was that, and from talking to my investigator, and I see Marcus Walker on here, and I see some other people on here that were there and getting the firsthand information. That what happened was the guy was supposedly broken down there at Popeyes, like Chief said.
Right.
And he actually didn't stay there the whole 2 days. He actually stayed up at Jeans and Son one of those nights.
Okay.
And he was waiting on some parts to come in, and they told him to go back down to Popeyes, so the people who were bringing the parts, he would be there.
Okay.
And that's kind of what happened. But when we see suspicious stuff, and that is something suspicious.
That's right.
And I would be suspicious of a van being parked there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she did what she did.
That's right.
Right.
Maybe she could have said, we don't know what actually happened.
That's right.
So I want her to understand, I want the people to understand, we don't care if you call us.
That's right.
We're not mad at you for calling, that it didn't turn out that this guy was who she thought or whatever.
That's right.
We don't know.
That's right.
But he had a legitimate reason to be there.
Okay.
And that's what we're saying.
Okay.
But Chief has told it all. The world is going crazy now.
That's right.
And we have to definitely look out for each other. We have to we can't take anything for granted.
That's right.
So community, we are not taking anything for granted. If you see a suspicious vehicle, you get away from it and
right.
you call us.
That's right.
And we'll definitely come out and check it out. And that's everybody.
Okay.
Look out for each other.
That's right.
And that's what law enforcement is here for. But on the same token, don't say law enforcement didn't do nothing, that they don't care. That is far from the truth. We risk our life every day to get out there and protect you and everybody else. And you're not going to call me and say, oh, the sheriff didn't do that because I didn't arrest somebody. We're going to arrest them if they deserve being arrested.
That's right.
But we just can't go putting everybody in jail because they parked out there or whatever. We can't do that.
That's right.
Because everybody have rights.
That's
and
right.
sometimes you think that we not doing nothing. You think we not, please don't say that, because we doing everything we can to protect our community and everybody here. And that's on the real.
That's right.
That's it.
I wouldn't be in this job if I didn't feel for this community and the great people here in this community. I got kids, I got a wife, I got a family, and I definitely feel that the whole community is my family.
That's right.
That's what we're here for. And I know everybody else in law enforcement, and everybody in here done been in law enforcement before.
Right.
And you know the feeling.
That's right.
But it's also a bad feeling for people to think, hey, he don't care.
Yeah.
That's the main. He does care.
That's right.
We do care. We risk our life every day. I leave my family every day to step out there and risk my life.
Right.
For everybody else to get home.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what we do, because that's what we all about.
Right.
And that's all I got to say on that matter.
Okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead.
And let me say something to black men, because black men, you really got to define yourself. A black man who sees a van pull up and snatch a black girl or a black woman off the street and force her into a van, what would you do? Now that's a big question. I know what I would do. I already got my mind made up because I do what ifs all the time. I would give myself up to go for saving a black woman or a black child.
There you go.
If I got shot in the process, so be it. But I would do what I could do if it wasn't anything but just if he got his van parked into a spot and he snatched the woman up from the car and throw her in the van, then I would crash my car into his car, jammed up against another car so he can't move his car. Now, somebody's going to see that and think I'm a fool and call the police anyhow.
Absolutely.
So some help is coming.
Yep.
So now, what are we afraid of? Martin Luther King says that if a man has not found anything worth dying for, he is not fit to live. So now, just like the sheriff said, law enforcement give themselves up every morning when they put their stuff on to come out the house. And they're giving themselves up to a fool somewhere who just want to vamp on a law enforcement officer all day long. So now, what is it that make a law enforcement man any different from just a plain man? Okay, now here it is. Let me explain it to you. I'm glad you asked that question. Now, there's a good crazy and there's a bad crazy.
All right.
And most police officers have a stroke of good crazy in them because you have to be somewhat crazy to swear to give your life up for the Constitution of this United States to protect people, many of whom don't want to be protected by you.
Right.
You are damned if you do and you're damned if you don't when they see you coming.
Right.
But now, when you save them from themselves and everything around them, well, then you the best thing's peanut butter in that next conversation, since peanut butter, even with some jelly in it. All right? So now all I'm saying is black man, black man, black man, black man. And I'm talking about 21 and up now. I know a lot of young black boys will put themselves out there, too, because they're going in burning houses and saving people's lives all over this nation as we read our papers and listening to our televisions. But now, black man over 21, pledge yourself to protecting the women and the children of our community. If you don't do that, you need to ask yourself some questions about yourselves.
Good job.
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
Hey, that is
Okay.
great. That is great.
That's it.
And all I'm gonna do to piggyback on that is say, hey, we got to get in the game.
That's right.
That's it.
We definitely got to get in the game.
Okay.
You know, we're here and we need to protect the ones that can't be protected.
That's right.
Yep.
And definitely, I know everybody in this room would do the same.
That's right.
That's
You
true.
know, and I have no doubt about
That's
that.
right.
But any God-fearing anybody would do something to help people. You know, I mean, that's just a part of humanity.
Right.
If you,
Right.
any part of humanity, you would do the same.
If you got a soul, you
You got
will.
a soul.
That's
You
right.
will.
That's
but
right.
look, I hadn't said anything and hadn't acknowledged the people on Facebook Live, and I know it's about time to go. But got to go back and say Brenda Brown is watching. Hey, Brenda, how you
Brown.
doing?
Yo, what's up?
Definitely, you know, miss you and appreciate everything you did and appreciate the gifts you sent me, the cards and everything else. I appreciate that. Jesse Simmons is watching. Thank you, Jesse, for joining us. Cherry Jean Purefro, hey, how you doing, my sister? You and John, thank you for watching. My brother Mike Provo, hey, Provo, how you doing? And Brenda says, good evening. Glad you're back, and I'm definitely glad I'm back. Rita Kennebrew, our homegirl, she's up in Cleveland. She's up in Ohio. She's watching as always.
Cleveland.
Yes, that's our buddy Carl Kennebrew's mother.
Okay. Gotcha.
And she did say something. I'll read what she said a little bit later on. Mike Provo says, what's up, family? How you doing, my brother again? Kimberly Slater is watching. Hey, Kimberly Slater, how you doing? Here watching her daddy, Big Slate Dog. Leon Sullivan, hey, Cap, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us. Deidre Slater, how you doing, Deidre? That's the other Slate Dog's daughter.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Deidre Slater Warren is watching. Thanks for joining us. Xavier Miller is watching. Hey, Xavier, thanks for joining us. Mike Berry, hey, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. And Deidre Slater Warren says, I see you, Dad. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you see Slate Dog. Lorenzo Levitt is watching. Hey, Lorenzo, how you doing?
Lorenzo.
Ella Coward is watching. Hey, Ella, how you doing?
Ella.
Pat, the reveal. Pat, the instigator is watching. Alfreda Martin is watching. Hey, my dispatcher Alfreda is watching. Thanks for joining us. Ella Coward says, welcome back, Sheriff. Hope you are much better, and I am much better.
Right.
And like I said, I'm probably about 40% right now.
Yeah.
But that's better from 0%.
That's right.
And getting better every day. Herman Janigan is watching. Hey, Herman, how you doing? Leon Sutton said, hello, you are looking great, my sheriff, and I'm in Rock Island, Illinois. Love you guys. Man, what you doing in Rock Island, Illinois? Love you too, my brother, though. T. Brunson, my daughter.
T.
That's Lil Dre. She watching. I can call her Lil Dre. Should have named her Lil Dre. But she's watching. Kiana Provo, hey, my sister, how you doing?
Kiana.
Lucretia Walden is watching. Hey, how you doing? Ella Council, hello, all. Have a great show, and thank you. And Deidre Slater Warren says, hey, Coach. Sheriff Brunson, hey, how you doing? And she looked like, I can't get this right. Is that a round of applause, or she saying hello, or clapping, or waving? One of those.
Emojis.
Emojis, yeah. Tim Phillips is watching. Hey, Tim, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying your new job over there. Edna P. Williams Woodson is watching. Hey, Edna, how you doing? Ann Ross is watching. Hey, Ann, thanks for joining us. Cherry, I think she was saying hello. She's joining them, and she joined us before. So hello again to you, my sister. Cynthia Yvette Sims is watching. Hey, how you doing? Cherry says good evening. Cherry and John says good evening. Jimmy Rush is watching. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Hey, Jimmy.
Brenda Brown says we can't hear y'all. And that's what I was saying a little earlier. She said she couldn't hear us. Chris Johnson, hey, Chris, how you doing? My deputy Chris doing a great job for us. Thanks for joining us. Jeffrey Brown is watching. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Rita Kennebrew says, hey, Sheriff and friends, so glad to see you guys back, and we definitely glad to be back.
Right.
My friend Chan Segrist is watching. Hey, Chan, how you doing? Cha-Cha, hey, Cha-Cha, how you doing with all the great food out there and all the seafood? Know you be cooking tomorrow. So y'all please buy some food from Cha-Cha.
Cha.
Ronnie Sykes, hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Hadn't heard you in a long time. How you doing, Ronnie Sykes? And Alfreda says hello. Alfreda Martin, my dispatcher, says hello. And Ross says Brickyard Hill. Did you miss Brickyard Hill?
No, it's on there, baby.
It's on there.
Gotta listen again.
Rita Kennebrew said, tell Booty Rush I didn't hear my street, Auburn Street. Did you
Auburn
say
Street on there?
Of course, I heard it.
Melissa Tarver is watching. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Alfreda Smith said Rosenwald Heights.
It's on there.
You said
It's on there,
Rosenwald
baby.
Heights? Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Marcus has joined us. And like I said, Marcus, great guy, great investigator. That's my lead investigator. And we talked about all we talked about tonight. And does a great job for me. And everybody just know that we'll definitely hear from you. I got some more here that I hadn't read here on my, I don't know why I'm having difficulties with this and this on Facebook.
Mine keep rolling over too.
Yeah, it's rolling over. Yeah,
rolling over.
It hadn't been doing that, but we had to go back and Courtney was able to take a picture of them. So we're going to go back and catch the people here. And I know I said Chris Johnson. I know I said Kiana Provo. And again, hello, but I didn't. She says, hello, my sheriff and family. Hello, my sister, how you doing? And thanks for joining us. LeBron Stewart, hey, LeBron, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Levy Lane, hey, Levy, how you doing? She says, hello, everyone. Our great friend, Roberta Crenshaw, hey, how you doing?
Roberta.
And great job out there with what you're doing. Hey, and we got one here, Bernice L. Frazier. Do you know who that is?
That's my little mama.
Watch out now.
Hey, thanks for joining us there. Yeah. Yolanda Powell. Hey, Yolanda Powell, how you doing? She says, hello, Sheriff Brunson and Courtney. And how you doing? And thanks for joining us. Janice Robinson. Hey, Squirrel, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. And Roberta Crenshaw says, happy holidays, gentlemen. Tammy Reeves. Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Hey, Joe Turnham, how you doing, Joe?
Hey,
welcome back,
Joe.
Sheriff. Joe. Welcome back, Sheriff, supporting TU and TU Athletics Economic Development. Thanks, Coach. MCEDA and new projects. New projects as Exit 38 and beyond will help generate new revenue for all of us.
Okay.
Lots of good stuff to be thankful for. Jobs and hope can help solve the crime. Thankful for leadership that supports and aids economic development. And of course, we're definitely going to do that. And thank you.
That's right.
And we got again Marcus Walker's joining us. Hey, my brother.
Marcus.
Hey, Miss Higdon, Miss Yanni, my sister. How you doing? Doing great, I'm sure, Yanni. And she's joining us, and Shaquita Stafford. Hey, Shaquita, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Willie Slater is watching from right here. Hey, my brother Kenneth Ellis, my sheriff, my brother Kenneth Ellis. Thanks for joining us. Tell the family I said hello, Kenneth Ellis. Ella Kowski. These young people don't want to listen to good advice. And you know what? I guess I can say we were all there at one time.
Hard-headed.
And it takes a little time. And like I say, they call us hard-headed.
Yeah.
And I still get called hard-headed, especially from my wife. Especially, and you, especially recently. Because I definitely have been doing what I was supposed to do.
Watch out now.
Kawana Woods, hey, my brother, how you doing, Kawana? I don't know if you over at the fire department or what,
yeah.
but tell everybody hello over there. The guys do a great job. Kimberly Pointer, hey, Kimberly, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Kim?
Yes, Kimberly Slater again, how you doing, Kimberly? And Kimberly Pointer again says, hey, everyone, Johnny Bird, my brother, Yabi. And y'all know Yabi a deputy now.
Watch out.
Watch out now.
Watch out now.
Yabi, my brother, great dude.
Yeah.
And he really loves the community and wants to help the community. So that was a great decision by me to bring him in on the team.
That's right.
Because he loves the community.
He really do.
He does.
He
Does a great job of what he does down there. So, hey, Yabi, how you doing, my brother?
Yabi.
William Jackson, hey, William, how you doing? And Johnny said, Johnny Burden, everybody know Johnny Burden is Yabi.
Hey.
And he says, hello, my brothers. Sonia Curtis, what you doing, Sonia? Where are you? Thanks for joining us, Sonia. Johnny Burden says, hey, Courtney. That's his partner in crime over there, Courtney. So he says hello to Courtney. Kathy Harrison says, hello, everyone. Hello, Kathy. How you doing? Sonia says, hello, y'all. I'm back in Atlanta. Okay.
Right.
Back in Atlanta. She be moving around.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Black. Hey, Greg, how you doing, my brother? I hadn't talked to you in a long time, man. I appreciate you, brother, and you take care of yourself, okay? Sonia Curtis said, I'm glad to see that the sheriff is better. Yes, I am, and I appreciate all the prayers, and thank you. Roberta Crenshaw says, I hope I get a chance to hang out with you guys before I move. Before you move, well. No, we need to check into that. Roberta Crenshaw said that.
Oh yeah, she moving to Texas.
Is she?
What?
Yeah.
Man, I hadn't heard that. Okay.
With a son.
Oh man, that's great though. That's great.
Okay.
Howard Loving, Camara, Kawanas is watching. Hey Howard, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Kimberly Pointer says, hey. Albert Bull says, so glad y'all are back on the air. Also happy to see you, Sheriff, are doing better. And that DJ Booty Rush and Booty Ruckers and his family are cool and well. Appreciate that. My friend Albert Bulls. Albert Bulls a great guy, man.
What's up, Albie?
Great supporter of everything.
That's
and
right.
we will definitely be to see you, Albert Bulls, to help us with this backstop.
That's right.
So be prepared to help the baseball.
There
and
you
team,
go. He's
gonna write
baby,
that check.
And we coming to see you.
That's
We
right,
coming
right
for
there.
that check.
They coming.
Check, baby.
And Kimberly Pointer says, hey, Court. And thank you, everybody joined us on Facebook Live. Thank you. And it's time to do our shout-outs. And first thing I want to say is just thank you to the community. My shout-outs go to everybody in the community. And my shout-out also goes to everybody in the community to stand up. And stand up for the weak. Stand up for the people who need help. Stand up for our elderly. Stand up for our children. Everybody can't defend themselves. And it's going to take everybody to take care of the people in this community.
That's right.
I couldn't stand by and watch something happen to anybody. I don't care who it is.
That's right.
Whether I swore to protect or whether I didn't. That's just me.
That's right.
You know, love the community, love the people in this community. just couldn't do without this community, man, and that's on the real.
Right.
So I challenge you guys to stand up and take care of the people in this community, especially the ones that can't help themselves. And we talked about so much, we didn't get a chance to go through what we talked about, helping the elderly understand what we're going to do to help them, what you need to do to protect yourself.
Right.
And we're going to definitely be going to the churches and to the schools and talking about this in the very, very near future to tell you what you need to do to protect yourself.
This is going to be an
Things
ongoing
you
discussion.
you can do and things you can't do. And as the sheriff in this community, the leader in law enforcement here, it's up to me to stand up and make sure you're educated on what to do.
Absolutely.
Give a shout out to my family, my wife, my kids, my mother, my brother, all the people in my family, my mother-in-law, everybody. Giving all y'all a shout out. Hadn't done that because we hadn't been here. But definitely have to give a shout out to the churches, and everybody. Shout out to Coach Slater. I'm glad he's here. And Coach Slater is a winner. And Coach Slater, I know he's still feeling down about the football season, but we're going to pick our head up and get ready for the next season.
That's right.
Coach Slater is a competitor. I don't care what you playing, tennis, marbles, whatever. He hates to lose. and that's the way it is.
That's right here.
And that's great.
Yeah, competitive.
And to a great man, my friend, Coach Slater, I know how you feel. I'm there with you every day, but better times are coming.
Right.
We're going to get back in the weight room, get back to what we're doing. But right now, we got to get these kids in these classes, make sure they pass, make sure they're eligible.
Right.
We're going to come back and have a great recruiting year, and we're going to be back on the gridiron. Time to play football again, and before you know it, it'll be rolling back around.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you, Coach Slater, for the great times. Great coach, man. Great offensive coordinator for TU. And I know we're going to be successful again. We didn't have a bad season.
Right.
And we were right there in every game, and it came down to the last game for the championship game.
Right.
One or two mistakes, and we would have won that game.
That's right.
But we in there.
We in there.
And thank you, Coach, for joining us. All right? And that's my shout-outs. Rebella.
Okay, my shout out goes out to my little mama
Of course.
and my dog children,
Dog tree.
Ebony and Simba.
Okay.
And to all of the black men, especially, all men, period, but just especially black men, who will take a good look at yourselves and dedicate yourselves to protecting the women, excuse me, and children of this community.
Coach Slater.
Go Slater. Go Slater.
Shout-out, baby.
You got to get them shout out, baby.
Well, I guess shout out to, I saw my family was on there. So shout out to all of those guys. And then Coach Tuskegee University Athletics, shout out to all of you. And shout out to Tuskegee and the community. Appreciate your support. One of the best homecomings I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Coach, slide back up here and give Miss Slate Dog a shout out.
Well, you get
There you're going to get in trouble. You want to go home now. You want to go home.
You had your family, but you got to give one.
That's right. A special shout out.
I'm definitely not ashamed to give my wife a shout out. She's we've been married for 44 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess she likes me.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to my son, my mother, my sister, and the staff here, CBTV, and Jordan. And want to give a shout out to my best buddy, my Queen Umi. I see she's watching right now. And want to give a shout out to a couple of folks, the Macon County Economic Development Authority. We didn't really get on that too much, but Exit 38 is coming along, and you see some progress down there. We had a groundbreaking a couple of weeks ago, and we see that Popeyes is doing good and contributing to the tax base and hiring people, so that's good. So shout out to Joe Turner for making that happen, and that's good stuff. And also Clipper Cut King over there on Franklin Road.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah, he's good people, man. I saw him the other day, so good shout out to him too. But shout out to all of the folks in Macon County that are making stuff happen, and look out for the sisters and the brothers. Yeah, you got to watch out for each other because folks are getting kidnapped left and right. We got to look out for each other. All right? That's it.
All right. I'd like to give a big shout out to my wife and kids. I love you guys, and we had a little fender bender with the Bambi or one of the reindeers. That thing called reindeers this past weekend, and we was okay. She's okay, and my daughter's okay. And,
Okay.
a little shooken up a little bit, but car bent up, but it's in the shop right now. But I like to thank everybody for their support. They had called him, and and being able to see she was all right and all that stuff like that. So kind of getting to me a little bit because I'm talking my wife.
There you
Man, I'm
go.
trying to get that deal, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be, brother.
Big shouts out to the guys right here at this station right here, 100.7 WBZ.
That's it.
That's gonna be the communicator. That's Sylvester McPherson, the co-pilot. That's Andre Fields, and myself, DJ Buddha Rush, the connector. Also, give a big shout out to you guys. We are back in the building, man. I miss y'all, man.
Back in the house.
I miss y'all, man. It's been over about 2 months, man.
yeah,
We've
that's
been on the
right.
air,
It's
so,
been a
man,
minute.
I'm kind of overexcited and everything.
We just getting started again.
That's
now.
right. Let's get started again. We got a
yeah.
long show tonight. We got other people getting ready to come on. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this a little bit. And I want the people that called in will actually text in and talk about their road or their street.
I know that's funny.
Yeah, but
Hey,
I'm
we got
gonna
to do
play
a
it
music
again.
video.